Yesterday's video, I talked about, communicating, tonality, body language, the words you say. One of the things too I mentioned, and where I'm at, I'm not even gonna get fully into this, but I do want to talk a little bit about more with how you say things, your tonality. And it's a thing called, there's mimicking and matching or mirroring, lots of ways that you can describe it. But essentially is when you call up a prospect, your goal is to remove barriers between you. And whether you like it or not, there's always going to be some immediate preconceived barriers from that person. If they have a barrier between you because they don't know you, they don't trust you. Especially I'm thinking on cold calls or really any sort of sales call. And our goal is to have effective communication. And how do you have effective communication when there's a barrier up? And so imagine there's an imaginary barrier. So our goal is to try to remove that. And there's many different ways to do it. But one of the most effective ways to do it, in my opinion, and easiest ways to do it once you get used to doing it, is by mirroring them. And when I say mirroring them, it's mirroring the way that they talk, not that you're mocking them or being disingenuous. The reason you're doing it is so you can have more effective communication. I like to use extreme examples is because it helps make the point. But let's say you're talking to a prospect and it's a little old lady. And she has a very soft, meek voice. And let's just say you are a loud knucklehead, like I can be sometimes. And you talk fast, and say she talks low and slow. If you start talking loud, fast, blah, 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 what's she automatically going to think, whether it's true or not? That you are deceitful, that you are trying to get one past her. And that's just how it is, right? That's how she's going to feel. So instead, what you want to do is you want to mirror how she talks. Talks a little bit slower, talk a little bit more quieter, right? Or let's say you're talking to somebody that talks slow. They have normal volume and voice, they talk slow, but you talk fast. Because you talk fast, they're going to think that you're a slick one. Or let's say you're talking to somebody that talks fast and you talk really slow. They're going to think that you're cognitively slow. Whether these stereotypes are fair or not doesn't matter, whether they're fair or not or right or not. That's just what goes through most people's minds is when you're the complete opposite of them. So what we need to do is mirror them. Not that you're the exactly, but if somebody talks slower and you talk fast, you need to talk a little bit slower. If somebody talks fast and you talk slow, you need to talk a little bit faster. If they talk louder volume, you need to talk louder volume. If they talk a quieter volume, you need to talk quieter volume. You want to come alongside in how they talk because it removes the barriers and then you can have more effective communication. They're more listening and hearing what you're saying versus being annoyed by you're too loud and while they're quiet, or you're too quiet when they're loud, or you're too slow when they're fast, or you're too fast when they are slow. And so when you're communicating with people, mirror them how they talk. Practice this when